Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and I'm braving the bugs and the heat and everything else out here in the swamps in Mississippi at the Gulf Islands National Seashore. It's a wonderful place, but middle of the day, I think I'm going to be wiping my brow a few times during this video. So, what I want to talk about today is item duping. There's been several videos that really lit up today on YouTube talking about item duping. And one video that I will show you a clip of here, it actually is something that whether it worked or not, it doesn't work now. But it kind of shows you the scare stuff of, you know, if stuff gets duped and everything, it's a really big issue. And it can really wreck the economy really, really quick. And so let me tell you about some experience I've had with item duping. Some of the stuff is that most all of the games I know of, and I don't know how WoW does it, but many of the games that I've interviewed people, programmers and such, in about item duping is that when an item is duped, the number of that item stays the same, or the unique identifier. And typically, two items are not unique at the same uniqueness. It's like having, you know, a DNA test and both of you, you know, two people who are completely unrelated coming up with a match on DNA. It just doesn't happen that often. What happens is that the item that's duped gets the same item number typically, and each item has a unique identifier. So it is a particular item, but then it is a particular number for that item. And what you could say is that way, you could equate it to cars. That although they make a whole bunch of Chevy Camaros that are the 2012 edition, that they all have a unique serial number. And so if you were duplicating each one of them, then they would all have the same serial number, and that would get noticed. Especially when you're registering at the Department of Motor Vehicles. I don't know if the individual states talk to each other, but if you had multiple in one state, they would start to get noticed, and they'd be going, huh? And, you know, then the insurance companies would notice. In fact, insurance companies would probably be up in arms before anybody else because of how much depends on identifying the car. So, anyway, golly, it's getting hot out here. You don't mind if I take my shirt off while I'm doing this, do you? It is so freaking hot out here. I'm sweating up a storm. So, anyway, with item duping, let me tell you about the time that I encountered item duping in-game. And it was in-game, it was in Ultima Online, and I was buying a lot of items from people and then reselling them for cash. And this is before it violated any of the terms of service for any games, and it's actually what we're about to go to with Diablo 3 and being able to sell at the Real Money Auction House. So basically, I bought a whole bunch of items and I realized that something was duped, because there was some in Ultima Online. There were server birth rares, and so they were like, there was a set of 2 of these statues that would mimic you. There was some dungeon doors. There was some rocks and stuff, and then there was a whole bunch of stuff that replicated like every time the server maintenance ran. And which was pretty cool. They would show up every morning. So right at server launch every morning after maintenance, all these people that wanted these rare items would boom, right in on the locations trying to grab them. It was great. It was a great PvP fest. So anyway, I got some items from this guy, and I realized that one of these were actually a server birth rare, and there's no way that there was 2 of them. I had never encountered 2 of them before. And I couldn't find any information about it, and there was not a whole lot of information back then. So I'm just like, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe this server had 2 of them. And so I sold them just like normal, and I'd gotten a bunch of other stuff from him as well. Well, then about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I got one of my accounts banned in Ultima Online. And I'm like, why the hell did you guys ban my account? Well, they banned my account because I had dupes on it. And I'm like, what do you mean I had dupes on it? I never did anything like that. In fact, my account was 12 years old, or 11 or 12 years old. And you know, they should have known that, people ended up with duped items because there was a lot of them in Ultima Online, you learned later. And so I didn't know that these were duped. And stuff that was like server birth rares and everything, we would start to stay away from them if we saw more than one of them out there. We're like, we have to assume they're all dupes. So anyway, it bit me in the ass many years later. They didn't only ban my account, they deleted it. I had no recourse to get it back. In Ultima Online, there was no backups. The characters were saved on the server world, and so they would have to revert the entire server in order to get a character back or an account back. And nowadays, it doesn't work that way, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's really easy for the game companies, especially like Blizzard, to see dupes and to take action. So somebody who has, one item that's duped or whatever, they're probably not going to take any action against that. Unless it's an ultra rare item that everybody knows is only one on the server. But it is very possible that that if you have a whole bunch of items that are duped, that you could get banned. Now, I don't know how they're going to handle this through the Real Money Auction House. I would hope that if there was some sort of duping going on, that they would instantly realize it and fix it. And if they can act fast enough, they can remove the duped items from the game. If they don't act fast enough, then those items get out to the general players. And as a general player, you just don't know that something's duped. I mean, how are you supposed to know that something's duped? It doesn't have a label on it saying duped. So hopefully, in fact, I'll ask next time I'm talking to Blizzard, I will ask them how they handle duped items, on whether or not they have something on the back end that just recognizes it right from the start and handles it, because that would be great if it does. But that video that I showed you just a little clip of earlier was a guy that was replicating the items over and over and over again. And that is a real issue for all of us. So, and if you know people that are duping and stuff, turn them in, because it only hurts all of us for them to continue doing it. And when there's money involved, this is going to be so many people trying to do stuff like this. Because if you can replicate one for free and then sell it at a high price, so many people's morals go down and ethics go down when they realize that there's a lot of money on the line. And in some cultures, to get one over on somebody else is to teach them a lesson. I'm not going to mention which culture this is, but there's two of them that come to mind. One is that it is very acceptable to rip off other people. That is one of the cultures that I'm referring to, and when we do sales to that country, to that culture, we really have to be cautious. We have to put them through more security checks than we would another culture. And some cultures we don't have to put through hardly any. It's really great. So, but this other one, they will teach you a lesson. That's what they want to do. They say, I stole from you to teach you a lesson. And I'm thinking, what the hell? What kind of lesson is that? Yeah, you taught me, but what are you teaching your kids? Goodness, you're teaching them that it's okay to steal from somebody as long as there's a moral to the story to where the other person learns to not get taken? Screw that. So, anyway. Okay, while we're on the subject of games, let's talk about What the Fast. What the Fast, I'm going to give away a free 30-day activation key. There's a link in the description to the keys, and or to What the Fast. And What the Fast, if you haven't heard about it, you may have heard about it from some other videos that I've done, but What the Fast is a service to help route your internet traffic through a better path to help reduce latency. And for some people, it has only minor effect. For some people, it has no effect. And for some people, it's amazing. So if you have any lag issues whatsoever, or you can play the game just fine, but when you get in Battlegrounds, you're always getting your ass kicked, check it out. Because the What the Fast may perform some just amazing stuff for you. They have a free trial. The trial lasts for 10 or 15 minutes. I can't remember the exact number of minutes, but it lasts for 10 or 15 minutes. And there should be enough time for you to figure out whether or not it's working for you, especially when you turn it off and you're able to see that you have a ping of, say, 120, and then when you turn it back on again, you have a ping of 40 or 50. So, in fact, let me solicit something from a couple of you guys. If someone will provide me with some videos showing how it's successful for them, I will give you a free 30-day advanced key. It's going to be the first few people that do this because I don't have a whole lot of these to give away. They cost money, and but I am willing to give a couple away in exchange for some good video showing the difference between non-what the fast and what the fast. So how do you get a key free on this video? Make a comment. I'll choose somebody in a couple of days. I'll choose them at random, and basically at random is me going to the comments page, clicking the mouse, hitting my scroll wheel, scrolling really far, seeing how far, sometimes with the click on, sometimes with it out, so sometimes I go further, and just seeing where the mouse lands, that person wins. Really that simple. Not rocket science. So anyway, check it out. The link is in the description below, and in fact, any of you that want to get in on doing a before and after, you can even do it with the trial. You don't have to have a full version. You don't have to already have it. You can do it with the trial. So I'm going to limit that to just a couple of people, and it's got to be good quality. I can't show something on my channel that's crap. I just don't do that. So anyway, I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.